Welcome back to Teresa's Dead. My name is Teresa and I'm very much alive. I have an awful, garbage, filthy mouth, so viewer discretion is advised, but if you're not into that or weird stuff in general, this is definitely not the place for you. Feel free to exit the video here. No harm, no foul, but I'll remember our time fondly. I am so excited. Air horns early. I'm excited because I get to finally play with the new Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit palettes. Now, I should say palettes, not palettes, because I did order 2 palettes. They decided to send me not the one that I wanted. So I have the Jellyfish and I should have had the Panther, but they said, no, you're not getting that. You're gonna get the snake palette and you're just gonna have to deal with it. So I have been just emailing back and forth with Hourglass customer service to try to get that order corrected. And I think I'm actually going to get a full refund as opposed to getting the Panther palette because, well, I already have some thoughts on that and I'll explain. I'm kind of happy just to use this one. So in today's video, we are going to be using and abusing this palette. We're gonna be using all the colors to see if this is something that is worth getting, considering that they've raised their prices to an extra $10. And I kind of have to ask myself, I understand that inflation's on the rise. I get it, but is this really worth the extra $10? But first and foremost, let me tell you a little bit about this palette. Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked, retailing for $90. Our highly anticipated Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked palette return, featuring artwork that celebrates the beauty of nature and helps unlock change to protect animal rights. Each palette includes new and best-selling shades for glowing complexion in a single palette. So this palette is amazing. It's beautiful, right? Like the artwork says it all. Now each one of these palettes you do get 6 shades. In this one there are 2 finishing powders, 2 blushes, 1 bronzer, and 1 highlighter. Now this is the only palette out of the 3 that has the most newest shades. The other 2 palettes I think are either 1 or 2. This is the one that has at least 50% new, which if you are an Hourglass collector of these palettes, that's great. First and foremost, packaging wise, 10 out of 10. This is stunning and I'm so happy that they're continuing with what they did last year. Last year's palettes were absolutely beautiful and I'm so happy that they're doing this really cool packaging, because for a while it just kind of seemed really fucking boring, and I just hate that it's literally just feels like the same thing over and over again. So I really do appreciate that they're coming out with really cool artwork. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Shantic High in that way. Now in this palette, you get a nice size mirror, which is very good quality, and you have your little 6-pan color story. So you have 2 finishing powders, diffuse light and ethereal light. You have a new bronzer, Lunar Bronze. When it comes to the blushes, which are in the middle of the palette, an oldie but a goodie, Diffused Heat, and the newer blush, Rose Fusion. And then last but not least, we have a highlighter, which is called Opal Strobe Light. So in today's video, I am going to use every powder, and I'm gonna start with ethereal light first, because this is perfect for my under eye area and I need to set my under eyes before they start creasing and looking like the Crypt Keeper. So let's do that right now. And so I'm gonna go in with a nice brush. Now what I have on my face is pretty much just foundation and concealer. I really do like ethereal light. It's really good at setting concealer, and it also has like a nice soft brightening moment. It's not too stark, it's just right, and it always makes my under eye area look really softly airbrushed. That's looking pretty good. And now what I want to do is I'm going to go into the diffuse light and I'm going to use that all over my face. I'm so excited about this palette. I love these 2 finishing powders. I think they're really good, especially if you have dry skin. It doesn't dry you out. It just gives you a very beautiful soft glow, which is awesome. And my face is looking pretty good. I love these palettes because it feels like the holiday season. When this stuff starts coming out in September, I'm like, it's Christmas! I get very fucking excited. And this by far has to be the prettiest holiday packaging that has come out. And I feel like no one's really gonna top this one. I think we're good. Looking pretty cute. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into the bronzer shade, which if I'm gonna be honest, not super excited about, because it looks like it's going to be incredibly warm. And I'm someone that likes more of a cool tone or neutral bronzer. So I feel like there is a very good margin of making me look like a Cheeto, and we don't like that. Here's hoping it doesn't. It's very pigmented. Oh, I hate this. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is, yeah, okay. Like I said, I am someone that really loves a cool tone moment. This is definitely very fucking warm on me, and it does have a little bit of an orangey tone, which, you know, giving me fucking Cheeto vibes. Great. It's funny, I actually don't mind how it looks on the forehead. I'm just not a fan of how it looks here. I don't know, I feel like it just looks really just orange. Like a bad chemical peel. Fuck. But up here, not too shabby. I don't mind that. Kind of giving me like a light crisp. A light rotisserie chicken, if you will. Also, this is a really, really dark bronzer for their lighter palette. I'm gonna take a little bit of the diffuse and ethereal and just try to not make me look so goddamn orange. That looks a hell of a lot better. Very, very happy about that. Like over here still kind of looks a little warm. I'll just keep buffing it maybe. I think that looks a little bit better. I think this is as good as we're gonna get it. It's definitely more tame since putting it on, which is great. Let's do diffuse heat here. Okay, coated my brush. I love this shade. I think it's like such a beautiful pink color. I really do love Hourglass blushes. I think they're probably some of my favorite formula. And while I don't have a lot of singles, I really, really love these holiday palettes. They usually have at least 2 good blush shades. Build it up just a little bit. And that's what's also great about these powders is that they are buildable. So if you do like a soft moment, you can have that. If you want more of a circus clown, you could have that too. It's a little bit of everything here. And so far, looking pretty good. Very, very happy. Okay, so we have diffuse heat. We got nothing on this side. So now moving on to Rose Fusion, which is this guy right here. Kind of the same, huh? Maybe a little bit different. This one's a little bit deeper. Can you tell a difference? I feel like I can't. A little bit. I feel like it's the slightest bit different. But if you really saw me in person, could you tell that I was wearing 2 different blushes? I don't know. They kind of look the same. I'm not gonna lie. They kind of look the same. Think about that. Think about that before you spend $90, okay? Think about that. Gonna go back in, just add a little bit more. We love a possessed doll moment. Love looking like fucking Annabelle. Yeah, I don't know if you could really tell a difference. I don't know. Now we're gonna go in with the highlighter. I feel good about the highlighter. Usually the highlighters don't disappoint me because they're usually a very sparkly alien slut moment. But not too sparkly, but definitely giving you the meat sweats. And this is beautiful. Oh bitch, I love that. I love that. That makes me happy. It has that kind of wet glass feel and look to it. I don't see any unnecessary glitter bukkake or chunks or anything. So appetizing, right? I don't see any chunks in my highlighter, but I don't see anything, yeah, I don't see anything wild, no. Put some on my nose like it's 2016. Like I said, I love Hourglass highlighters. I think they're so, so pretty. They never disappoint me. So here are the completed looks. Pretty cute. Now let's talk about, do you really fucking need this? No. It's not worth it in my opinion. I think if you have last year's palettes, it's kind of the same shit. And it's very unfortunate because last year was such a huge departure from previous year's stuff. But I feel like they just really wanted to capitalize on last year's high with the cool packaging, that I feel like they were hoping that people would not notice the huge similarities between the palettes as well as last year's stuff. So for example, I have 2 of the palettes from last year. So I have the elephant one, which I think was more for like light medium, and then I have the butterfly, but I put it in the tiger packaging because I don't fuck with butterflies. Butterflies are disgusting. Yeah, I said it. Come at me. I don't care. Anyway, so this is like the fair option palette, and this feels very similar to the Jellyfish. 2 of the finishing powders are exactly the same, so you're really only getting 4 new shades here. And I prefer last year's palette because at least there are 2 highlighters in it, right? This one, there's a bronzer that I feel like is very Cheeto, very orange on me. And in reality, I'm probably really not going to be using it that much. So what I am going to be using in the palette are 5 shades. And 2 of the shades, I feel like I had fucking 7 times over at this point. So am I really going to hit pan on them? Probably not. And the 2 blushes, I feel like they look exactly the same. I love diffused heat. I think it's so pretty. It's an oldie but a goodie. I have a single of that one. But I was kind of expecting a little bit more when it came to Rose Fusion. I feel like upon initial application, this side looks a little bit deeper. But as soon as I started to kind of buff it out, I'm like, what's the difference? What's the fucking difference? I think my favorite thing in this whole palette is the highlighter. The highlighter is beautiful. It gives you that very glorious wet slut moment that I love. But if I'm going to compare it to last year's butterfly palette, I think the highlighters in this one I'm kind of a little bit more excited about, right? So I think in reality, if you have this palette, this is by far the most supreme palette. I say keep playing with this one. You're not really missing out with this. But if you don't have this, you can't find it. Think this is like a comparable-ish runner-up, but not quite. That said, I'm disappointed. I had a higher expectation. First of all, they fucked me up because I thought it was supposed to be 4 different palettes, not 3 different palettes, 4 different artwork. That was like, oh, I don't like that. And when I initially placed my order, I purchased the Jellyfish as well as the Panther. And the fact that they didn't send me the Panther, I'm taking it as a sign from above that that wasn't meant for me. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to link down my girl, like one of my fucking favorite people here on YouTube, Tara Lynn. She has a very, very detailed review of all 3 palettes. Now, keep in mind, Tara and me have completely different skin tones. I'm an uncooked chicken. She is a cooked chicken. We are very, very different. But when I was noticing her playing with the Panther palette, I was like, first of all, it kind of looks a little bit like the Jellyfish, but just a little bit deeper. There wasn't anything super fucking exciting about that palette. And again, it suffered the same thing that I'm experiencing with the Jellyfish of it being like, oh, kind of looks the same. Granted, I don't hate how I look. I think I look very, very beautiful. I'm adorable, but it's just not enough for me to justify the $90 because I'm like, okay, so in reality, I could only really get 1 look from this fucking palette, not several like I should be getting. I could kind of just get 1. So if I were you and I was thinking about potentially picking this up, I'd think about it. I'd sleep on it for a little bit because 1, for $90, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I don't feel like there's anything spectacular, amazing, beautiful about it other than it being a statement piece on my vanity. There's nothing to really write home about. It's fine. It's okay. It gets the job done, but you're not going to get that much variety. And for that price, that's fucking stupid. I'm thankful that the powder's quality is good. I'm just very disappointed with the fact that everything looks exactly the same. I just don't think it's worth the splurge. And even during the Sephora sale, which this is going to be like a hot commodity, I'm sure of, even at the 20% mark, I guess it's okay to like look at it, but if it's anything less than 20%, yeah, maybe 10. No, 20%. I'm gonna stand firm on that. Anything under 20%, I don't think it's worth it. I just don't. It's not enough for me to be like, oh my God, this is something that I want to be buried with. No, this is a fucking afterthought, much like the year before's palette from Hourglass. That's kind of an afterthought. If you have the butterfly, just fucking hold on to this one just a little tighter when you go to sleep tonight, okay? Because this is all you need. All you need is last year's shit. You don't need this year's shit. Yeah, I'm just disappointed. With the $10 increase and just feeling like it's pretty much Groundhog's Day, no, it's not good. I'm disappointed and I feel like this is gonna set the tone for all holiday releases. So Christmas is canceled. Holiday season 2023 is canceled and we're just gonna have to deal with it. We're just gonna have to deal with it. Might as well just be 2024 at this point. Thank you, Hourglass, for not saving the day. If anything, you're making my bank account incredibly angry. Now I would love to hear from y'all. Let me know down below if you have these palettes, if you've been loving them, if you've been hating them, or if you just don't care. Just let me know because I love hearing from you. And yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. As always, feel free to like, comment, hit that subscribe button. It's free. And hit that bell icon for notification of all my future posts. Follow me on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and to my beautiful, wonderful patrons and YouTube members. Thank you so much for keeping this delicious, disgusting, trashy, filthy, really trashy, really gross, really nasty, really disgusting, but beautiful and lovely and glowy. Garbage boat afloat. I couldn't do without you. I love your adorable little delicious faces and I just want to gobble you all up so you live inside my belly and we can be one. If you want to know what's currently on my face, everything else will be listed in the description box down below and I'll see you little cupcakes later. Bye.